Okay, let's get started with our first segment of Think Tank. And to warm up our panel, we have round one, Riddle Me This. Now, I'll be asking our panelists to solve a bunch of brain teasers. They've not had any preparation. The questions were sent to them only 2 hours before our recording. If you know the answer before our Think Tank, please feel free to comment your answer below. Now, question one. Billy's mother had 5 children. The first was named Lala, the second was named Lily, the third was named Lily, the fourth was named Lolo. What was the fifth child's name? Let's start with Sam.
The fifth child's name is Billy.
I think the last child's name should have been Lulu, but given that it is actually Billy, I think Sam's probably right.
I thought that the fifth child was former Best Picture winner La La Land, personally.
Yeah, it's totally missed an opportunity.
Yeah, Billy's mother really dropped the ball with that one.
Sam, you are officially correct. Well done.
Yay!
I know.
Question 2. Choose the correct sentence. The yolk of the egg is white, or the yolk of the egg are white. Let's go to Alex.
The correct sentence is the yolk of the egg is white. It would be correct if it was the yolk of the eggs are white. That one works. But because it's only one egg, it's singular possessive.
Okay, Bernadette, do you agree?
No, and there's a good reason for that. Yolks of the eggs are never white. I can tell because when I cut into them, they all goop all over the place. It's actually the yolk of the egg is yellow, or in fact a lovely sort of gold color, really.
That is correct.
Yay!
See, this just isn't fair because I buy all my eggs from the Yolks Are White Emporium, so that was a tee up for me there.
So the eggs that you're buying, your yolks aren't yellow.
That's correct. Yeah, the eggs that I buy, their yolks are all white. I'm not sure how they make that happen. I think it's bleach.
Sam, do you think we should accept Cuff's answer, or do we think that he's lying through his teeth?
He's not lying, he's just wrong. So, no, we don't accept it.
Bernadette, you have a point, and Alex, you are
Yay!
wrong.
This is ridiculous. You can't prove where I buy my eggs.
Well, we're gonna need photo evidence, mate.
Yeah, I've tried. They always come up yellow on a camera. I don't know how that happens.
Now, we lost Bradley there for a little bit, but I believe we've got Bradley back. So I'm going to throw a riddle at you, and I want to see what your answer is. Choose the correct sentence. The yolk of the egg is white, or the yolk of the egg are white?
Okay, no, I made it very clear in the pre-interview that I don't eat eggs.
I knew that you didn't like eating eggs. I didn't realize that it would trigger you.
I'm offended. I'm confused.
Well, what's bothering you about eggs?
I'm morally opposed to them as a concept.
Talk to us, Bradley. We're here for you.
It's all right. It's a safe space here, Bradley.
When you grow up in the suburbs like I did, you have a lot of eggs forced onto you from a young age, okay? The Sydney suburbs is egg country, and I've just had a lot of unwanted eggs forced onto me in my life. I'm an adult. I get to control my eggs now, not you.
Okay, so what Sydney suburbs are we talking about here?
I'm talking Blacktown. I'm talking Campbelltown. I'm talking the rough outer edges. And the eggs from there...
This is brave of you. This is very brave, Bradley.
The eggs from there are bolder and more dangerous than you could ever believe. Have you ever seen an egg with a face tattoo? Because I have.
I can't believe that we've done this to Bradley already.
I think this is so impressive that you've come out to talk about this. I know it's very difficult for you, and I do appreciate you speaking out. I feel like this needs to be a more public issue.
There'll come a time when we can talk about when I saw my best friend get scrambled in front of me, but...
I'm going to let you start with the next riddle, Bradley. It'll give you a chance to shake it all off. So what gets more wet while it dries?
A towel. Boom. That's a point for me.
That's correct. Well done, Bradley. Now, since you're in a roll, I'm going to give you the next one as well before we hand over to Alex. How far can a dog run into the woods?
Depends how many legs it has, and depends how vertical the trees are.
So you're saying that the answer depends on whether we're talking about a 4-legged dog or a 3-legged dog or less.
Or 5 or more legs, yes.
Well, there's another variable I think you need to consider here, and that is how many of the dog's natural predators are in the woods. However, if we assume that there are no such predators, of course the dog can only run halfway into the woods before it is now running out of the woods.
That is the correct answer. Well done.
Yay!
So let's go to Sam Sweeting. Which is heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of rocks?
A pound of rocks, because rocks are heavier than feathers. Get amongst it.
So your answer is a pound of rocks because rocks are heavier. Is that right?
My answer is a kilogram of steel, because steel is heavier than feathers.
Are you working from a different stimulus than the rest of us?
You know, I'm just trying to add some pop culture to the podcast, but clearly no one here has seen Limmy's show, so why am I even trying?
I've seen Limmy's show, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Nah. See, my answer was going to be that it very much depends on how many feathers you can buy with a pound in England, and likewise how many rocks you can buy with the same pound.
Okay, so we're not talking about a pound of currency, we're talking about a pound of weight.
Oh, in that case, it's the same weight.
They're the same.
Okay, you're all correct, you all get a point. Well done.
Yay!
All right, let's move on. A cowboy rode into town on Friday. He stayed in town for 3 days and rode back out on Friday. How is this possible?
There's actually a number of ways this can happen. Now, he's ridden in on Friday, and he probably doesn't like it, so he rides back out on Friday. But then he comes back in on another day, and he stays for 3 days. Or he rides in on the Friday, stays for a day, thinks, screw this, I'm going home. Then he thinks, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to get the bread and eggs. And then goes back in, stays for 2 nights after he's got his eggs.
Bradley, are you okay?
And then rides back out on the Friday. So, you know.
You have to give a trigger warning before you say that word, Bernadette.
Sorry.
It's fine. Let's continue with the riddles.
I said eggs.
What's the answer to this question?
The cowboy's horse is named Friday.
That is correct. So a cowboy rode into town on Friday, which is the name of the horse, stayed in time for 3 days, and then went back out, also riding on top of Friday. That is how it is possible. But I do love your inventive thinking and your triggering. Bradley, thank you, Bernadette.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Bradley.
Let's just move on.
All right. I'm going to throw this one also to Sam. 2 boxers are in a match scheduled for 12 rounds. Now, this is boxing only. We're not talking kickboxing, no UFC takedowns or anything else. One of the boxers gets knocked out after only 6 rounds, yet no man throws a punch. How is this possible?
They're at a bar taking rounds of vodka shots, and one of them is not as good at holding his liquor as the other.
All right. I like your answer. Bradley, what do you think about that answer?
It's the only one I got.
The answer's fine. I think the more likely answer is that both of them have been paid to throw the fight by different gangs. So they stand there for 6 rounds staring each other down, waiting for the other one to throw a punch so they could take the fall before one of them finally throws himself to the ground. That's the correct answer. 1 point. 1 point.
Interesting. Bernadette, what's your answer?
Okay, this is actually a bit of a story. It has nothing to do with anything that triggers Bradley. So the boxer's girlfriend has some inside information here that the boxer is cheating on her. So after that, she watches these two going at each other or not going at each other for 6 rounds. She realizes who he's cheating with, and it's the other boxer. They're not hitting each other. So she gets a bottle of wine and smashes it over his head and he's knocked out. So that is the point. Thank you.
So the punch or the knockout blow actually doesn't come from the boxers, it comes from the audience. Interesting. Alex, what's your answer?
Bernadette got tantalizingly close to the correct answer, but I think you'll find that both of the boxers in the match are in fact female, so no man would throw a punch, yet after 6 rounds it's very feasible that one of the boxers could get knocked out through purely legitimate means.
No, I don't take that. Sorry. Right, bottle of wine smashed over the head.
I do like your answer, Bernadette. In fact, I like all the answers, but Alex is correct. They are both female boxers. Well done, Alex.
Thank you very much. I feel like that was an easy one, and I'm really disappointed in my panel for not getting that.
Well, I'm a misogynist, so.
I can't help that I permanently live in a Tarantino film, so that's where my head goes.
Okay, so next question. It's as light as a feather, but the strongest person can't hold it for more than 5 minutes.
Luke, I know the answer to this one through some very unfortunate trial and error experiences. The answer is your breath.
That is correct. Well done.
Oh, nice.
I, at one time or another, thought that I was going to be a great adventurer and thought that being able to hold my breath was going to help me in that. I quickly discovered that not only are my lungs garbage, but most of the world has already been discovered. So I wanted to explore Blacktown mostly.
Man, your childhood sounds awful. So traumatic.
Most of my life experiences are therapeutic, but the trauma gathers at such a fast rate that no progress is ever made or lost. Have you smelled Blacktown?
Why do you need to be able to hold your breath to explore Blacktown?
Man, if you haven't been to Blacktown, you just can't understand it.
All right, so I'm going to throw this one to Alex. The more there is, the less you see. What is it?
It is Harry Potter's invisibility cloak, because the more people own a cloak, the less people you can see. 3 points to me. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Sam, do you have a different answer?
Cataracts. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. I actually think we have to accept both of those answers.
I'll take my point then, thank you.
Oh, this is going to be really, really tricky. Bernadette, what is your answer?
I'm going to say a cloud. Lock it in, Eddie.
I actually think that I have to give you all a point because the official answer I have on my sheet is fog. The more there is, the less you see. But I cannot dismiss any of your answers.
Well, a fog is just a cloud on the ground.
I don't know if I've ever had visibility drop to complete zero on a cloudy day. There's always some sunlight coming through.
Well, that's true, but what if it's at night?
If it's at night, then the clouds are irrelevant.
Not if they cover up the moon.
My original answer was darkness.
As was mine, but cataracts was funnier, and I want people to like me.
That was my original answer as well.
Yeah, I think you all can get a point there. I can't dispute any of your answers. Well done. Now, we are going to take a very quick 1-minute break, and we'll be right back with our big issue round.